In this video, I'm going to show you how to do Sorceress Sellen's full quest line to get gear much like this and some other cool stuff. Now you can start Sorceress Sellen's questline in Limgrave, and you're actually going to start it over here by the Witchbane Ruins, right over here at this location. Once you do get to the ruins over here, you'll see there is a location where there is a staircase going downwards, and you're going to go down into this, and you'll see there is a boss chamber. Go ahead and defeat this boss. Once you've done so, you can open up a door at the back of the boss room, and you'll find Sorceress Sellen right over here that you can speak to for the very first time. You're going to tell her you want to learn sorcery. Of course, that's why you're here. You'll see you'll immediately be greeted with a shop where you can buy a couple spells, to get yourself into sorcery early on in the game. But now we're going to want to get some better sorcery items, some of the best ones in the game. Now for the next step, we're going to get everybody's favorite sorcery, which is the Comet Azur. It's the giant-ass laser beam that Raya does. Now this is going to be located at the Volcano Manor, but like not in the manor, it's around the volcano. So you're going to actually progress to the Altus Plateau. So right after you go up the Grand Lift of Dectus, you're going to then proceed immediately north. You're going to see there's a Altus Plateau site of grace. And then we're going to start over here at the Erdtree Grazing Hill site of grace. And we're going to make our way through this path. We're going to immediately go north up here into this rune section here. We're going to go to the west and along here into the section until we get to this side of grace called the Seathwater River. And then here, you're just going to follow the actual river, the water, and you're going to take every single left that you can. And this will bring you up until this location over here called the Seathwater Terminus. And then from here, you're going to continue going to the left around the volcano. You will see there is a magma worm boss over here, which will go around, and it will get roughly to around this location where we'll find a certain NPC. But I'll start at the Erdtree Grazing Hill to give you an idea of what this whole pathway looks like. So from the side of grace, we're going to immediately look to the north. And you'll see there is a pathway up this mountain. You're just going to go up this mountain. Super simple. Once you get to the top, you will see there's runes over here. You're going to face the northwest. There will be a boss active over here. You can or cannot fight it. It's up to you. But you're just going to head all the way to the west to get past that side. You'll see there is a pathway from this angle, as I showed you on the map previously. And if you start following this pathway down, this will actually lead you to our very first site of grace that you can save at, which is the Seathwater River site of grace right here. And then you're going to, like I said, follow the river until it goes all the way to the next one, which is quite simple. I'll show you right here. The river looks like this. You just stay on the water until you reach the other location. By the time you see the castle in the distance, you will see the next site of grace is over there. The water ends, and we're going to be going left up ahead here. So when you see the castle, we're immediately going to stick to the left and follow along the pathway that goes through here. So just follow along this direction. If you keep going straight here, you should see there is a lava pit just up ahead, like there. Now, when you get near that, a magma worm is going to come out there. You can or cannot fight it. It's up to you. If you don't want to fight it, you can try run around from the right-hand side over here because we're going to be going past this area to the south. And then once you get behind it, we're going to head more to the southeast. You're going to be going through that gap that I'm aiming at right now. Just for reference on the map, this is where we are. There'll be a bunch of ambush enemies along this way, but you're going to just follow the pathway until it leads you to a certain kind of magical boss. You'll see there is a giant rune bear that will ambush you like that. That's fine. We're going to keep going straight. You'll then see some houses and stuff on your right and some more animals. We're still going straight. We're going all the way around this entire thing. Once you get to this village, you're basically near the point. You're going to then hug the left of the hermit village as you get to the end, because you'll see there is a kind of weird big monster in the distance there with a staff. We're actually going behind this area. You'll see there's a site of grace as well over here. So here's the site of grace, and there's the NPC that we want to speak to. So let's go ahead and set it at the site of grace. So now that we reset to the site of grace, the aggro is gone, and we can go ahead and speak to this guy over here, and you'll get yourself the Comet Azur Sorcery, just like that. One of the most strongest spells in the game. Later on, we're going to get his armor. As you can tell, I'm already wearing it. You're then going to return to Sorceress Sellen at the Witchbane Ruins cellar. Okay, so come back here, and then you're just going to speak to her, and then you'll see you have the option to show her Azur's sorcery, which will prompt her into telling us her story. Then you will take the journey together with her, and you'll also ask her a favor to continue speaking and continuing her storyline, which will give you this Selian Seal Breaker, which is an item we're going to use later on. You can also then speak to her about a lead on Lusat, which is the other sorcerer that we're going to find now. Now, in order to get to Sorcerer Lusat, we actually have to go to Caelid, specifically Fort Faroth. Now here, you would have been here already for the other half of the medallion for the Lift of Dectus. But if you forget how to get to the Fort Faroth over here, we will have to start in Limgrave at the Third Church of Marika, which if we zoom in, we're going to go to the northeast in the water over here, there is a teleporter that is going to take you to the Bestial Sanctum at the northeast of Caelid, which is right over here. And then from here, you're just going to run down the road. You're going to go across the bridge. You can ignore all the bosses and monsters along the way. Just keep following the road, run past everything, and make your way up the road until you get to Fort Faroth at this location. Now, the location we're heading to is actually just down the mountain, like around here. You can also access this location from the Church of the Plague by going north and going to here. But from Fort Faroth, you'll see how we do it here. We're at Fort Faroth. You can see the wall on our left. We're just going to follow the wall down. We're going to go ahead and jump on the other side. And you'll see if we go to that big white thing in the distance facing west, you'll see there is an air gust kind of thing that brings, like, you know, you're jumping all the way up here. You just got to make your way here, and you can actually use this air to jump down nice and safely so that you don't have any problems dying. And then you're going to head east, and you'll see there is a graveyard immediately over here, just like this big graveyard right by this location. And if I look at the map, we're right here. This is where you have to be on the map. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically dismount, and see this rock behind us. We're just going to hit this imaginary rock. Isn't that crazy? You can put on your lantern because we're going to be doing a little bit of caving. This is a big cave. We don't actually have to defeat the bosses at the end. We just have to fight Lusat in this cave, which is also a bit challenging. All right, so let me guide you through this cave in where you need to go. So for now, you're just going to keep running straight. You honestly can't get lost until you get to the dead end. So it's around about here where there's an item on the floor, and you'll see it looks like a dead end. But if you go ahead and you hit the wall at the back there, ha, surprise, a new pathway. And if you keep running to the end of this one, surprise, another pathway. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run across this beam like this, and we're going to jump to this side. Do be careful not to get hit by these enemies. From this location where there's a gap, you're going to go ahead and you're going to jump across just like this. And then we're going to head to the northeast. So just follow along with me over here. We're going to go around this edge, and we're going to keep going towards the northeast. And here we're actually going to drop down onto this platform, and we're going to head this way. And you'll see that we can actually drop over here as well towards the west. And then here we're going to face north. Once you're in the water at the bottom, you're going to face towards the north. You will see there is an enemy that we're going to fight, and they're also guarding a magic gateway. Go ahead and Avada Kedavra that bitch, and we can go ahead and go through. This is where you're going to be using that Seal breaker, I mean. And then going through here, you'll find Lusat's body over here, which you can go ahead and talk to, Mr. Big Brain. This will give you the Stars of Ruin sorcery, which is very, very strong as well. Unfortunately, you're not able to fast travel out from this location. You will have to retrace your footsteps. So to do this, we're going to turn around, and we're going to basically run all the way to the south. And at the south, you're going to turn to the right, and you'll see there is a pathway up here. And you just essentially follow this pathway, and it will pretty much straightforwardly take you to the end of the, you know, the location you need to be. Once you do make your way outside again, you're going to go ahead and you're going to fast travel back to Sorceress Sellen, which is going to be over here by the Witchbane Ruins again. And you'll go ahead and speak to her just like you did previously. Now you'll use Lusat's location as a dialogue option. As a reward, you will get Starlight Shards. And then you can go ahead and leave here. For the next step, we actually have to go ahead and defeat Radahn. So if I go ahead and I open up my map over here, this is going to take place in Caelid, at the southern end of Caelid. So you're going to make your way down to this location over here. And right over here, you'll then use the teleporter at the site of grace, this one right here. And this will go ahead and teleport you to the location you need to be teleported to. This brings you to Redman Castle, where the battle for, you know, the Starscourged, Radahn is going to take place. Just go ahead and follow through to the north. Once you walk through this location with all these NPCs, you will see there is a guy standing at the top at the left there. That is the one we need to speak to because he is relevant for this quest line. You can go ahead and speak to him here and tell him if you're ready or not. Ready to begin the battle. Once you've done so, you're going to turn around and you're going to head to the north, and you're going to go into this castle behind you. You'll see walking through here, there is a doorway at the end that takes you down the elevator to do the battle. Go ahead and defeat Radahn. Good luck. Once you have won that battle, you're going to go ahead and return to Sorceress Sellen, basically at the same location you always find her at, the Witchbane Ruins. And then you're going to go ahead and speak to her. She will have a favor to ask. You will tell her about the request. She will then tell you to find her real body, as this is just a projection of her body. So we're going to go find the real her. You'll be able to find her body at the southern end of the map. So if we just go from Witchbane Ruins and to the south over here, you'll find her body at the Witchbane Ruins over here at this location. So essentially what you're going to do is from the Witchbane Ruins, you're going to go down to the south of this road. You're just going to follow the road, keep following the road. And from here, you're going to take the split and you're going to do like almost a U-turn, but you're going to go up this road over here. and then you're going to take the bridge across this location, and then there is a Site of Grace that you can grab here, and then this just runs down into the field, and you can straight up get to this location. Nice and easy because it's generally flat ground. Once you get into the middle of the ruins area, you will see there is a staircase going downwards, and you're going to progress down here. You're going to open up the door, and you'll find Sellen's real body has been, stuck to the wall with some sorceries. There's a free sorcery ambush shard on the right there. Cool. And if we talk to her, she'll say thank you for coming, and she'll recognize you. If you do this out of order in the video, she might not know who you are. She's then going to give you an item that is, well, akin to her life force, I guess. And this is going to be Sellen's primal glintstone. So now with that in hand, we're going to go ahead and progress to a new place. But before you leave, just make sure you do continue talking to her in case she has anything extra to say. We're now going to go ahead and find Jerren, who is located at the Redman Castle. He's the one who started the fight at the Redman Plaza, So we're going to go back to where we did that fight, and we're actually going to go into the area where we went down the lift to fight Radahn. So we're going here. So you're going to run through this area again, and you're going to make your way to the big church castle kind of building at the end. You should find him sitting here inside as soon as you walk in on a chair right there. Go ahead and speak to him, and you'll, go through all of his dialogue options. If he's not here because you spoke to him already, you might find him at the next location instead. You're then going to proceed to the Witchbane Ruins again after sitting at a Site of Grace, and you're going to go to where her real body was after you have reset the Site of Grace. Then we can go ahead and jump in here, go down to her body, and you should see Jerren should be here next to her, and go ahead and exhaust his dialogue with him. Once you've finished his dialogue options over here, we're actually going to go ahead and progress all the way to Caria Manor, where you find Ronnie for a different quest line. So this is in Liurnia of the Lakes. You're basically going to go onto the left platform over here, and you're just going to follow the road all the way up like this, all the way through here. There's an invisible wall here that you can attack and break and go through, and then you're going to progress through this location here, and it's going to take you around like this. You're going to go up into this building. It's going to take you across the wall. You're going to go across the wall. You're going to take the left. You're going to go across here. Eventually, it's going to lead to you going down on this bottom platform, which you can go up the stairs, up the stairs, up the stairs, fight the boss over here. And once you defeat the boss, you can go through the top section over here. And the location we're going to is specifically these ruins right over here, I believe. So this location is going to look like this over here behind me. The exact location, as you can see here, was where I shared originally. We're going to the southern part, like right over here at this location, and you'll see this is what it looks like, and there's an imaginary floor over here. You're just gonna attack this, crouch and attack this. How do I hit this? I gotta hit the ground. There we go. I think I hit it. There we go. I finally got it. A nice big fireball decided to open up the ground. So you just have to attack the ground somehow with direct attacks, and this will open up a chamber that you can go ahead and walk through. And at the end over here, there is another wall that you can go ahead and attack, and this will reveal her real body or her new body that you can transplant the primal glintstone into. You can go ahead and use all of her dialogue options, and you can also then still use her study option to learn any of the same spells that you've always had access to learning. And now we're going to go to where Rennala can be found. Now you're going to head to where Rennala is. So you're going to go to Raya Academy, Lucaria Academy, however those words are all put together. We're going to go to the one specifically where you find Rennala, and you'll see the doorway that she's facing towards the east. You're going to go out there, and you'll see immediately on your left and right there are two summoning signs. The red one is so that you can go ahead and challenge Sorceress Sellen and effectively join Jerren's side, or alternatively you can go ahead and fight with Sorceress Sellen and protect her and defeat Jerren instead. This is the better option, assisting her, but let me show you what not assisting her, betraying her, gets you. You can only do one of these pathways, so choose wisely. So here you can see Jerren and myself have been summoned in to go ahead and fight Sorceress Sellen. Once you do defeat Sorceress Sellen, you will get her bell bearing as well as the witch's glintstone crown as the armor piece for the helmet. You'll be able to find Jerren at the door where the summoning sign was and get yourself an ancient dragon smithing stone for speaking to him. Now that is the only reward that you can't get by doing the other pathway, the same with the helmet. You can also go ahead and defeat Jerren so that you can get his complete armor set like this. You can see it on the right hand side. You should know that you will not be able to get the armor set that I'm wearing or the Lusat's armor set either when you go ahead and betray Sellen. You only get them if you go ahead and you assist her. So we're going to go ahead and do the assisting path, which I believe is the better one. And in this case, you're going to join Sorceress Sellen and you're going to go ahead and defeat Witch Hunter Jerren. In this case, you will still get his complete armor set, as you can see here, his full armor set. And if you go ahead and you walk to where Renala usually used to stand or sit or do whatever she did, you'll find Sorceress Sellen is standing there instead, and you can go ahead and speak to her. If you keep speaking to her, you will get the Glintstone Chris weapon. And as usual, you also still have options to buy from her sorceries list if you haven't bought anything yet. If we go ahead and we make our way back to the location where we got Comet Azur, this location over here, remember the sorceress over here? There is this site of grace called the Primeval Sorcerer Azur. So Azur's body over here, you can find the item that you can pick up that will give you his helmet, his robe, as well as his gloves. He doesn't have any pants. Interesting. You'll also be able to go to Celia's hideaway, the dungeon over here. Remember the one where we got the other, like, you know, spell, the other one? You will have to progress through the dungeon again to get to the body. Once we go into the section where his body is stored, you will see there's also a item pickup that you can go ahead and grab, and this will give you Lusat's Glintstone crown, robe, pants, and gloves. This time we get pants. Interesting. And this is what that armor looks like in case you're interested in, you know, the armor that you get. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.